Hello, lovely ladies and lovely gentlemen. Welcome to an episode of the Creative Differences podcast that is both romantic and comedic. I'm Dallas, and I've never seen a live action Meg Ryan movie.
I'm Gaby, and I have seen so many live action Meg Ryan movies.
I'll bet.
I'm Colin, and I know Meg Ryan's name, but could I tell you anything about her aside from the fact that she's related to this podcast specifically? No.
And I'm Demi, and as many movies as Meg Ryan's been in, I'm surprised that Dallas has not seen a one that isn't live action.
No, I haven't seen
Right?
one that is live action.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Welcome to Fancast Friday, guys. Today, we are going to be fancasting When Harry Met Sally.
Woo! Wow, wow, wow. This is me.
Gaby-
It's all me.
Gaby finally got her wish because she had to force us to do this, like me and Dallas suggested that she should do.
I did.
Yes.
We have to diversify our fan cast, guys.
100% Gaby.
Yes. But also, I feel like I get very interesting responses out of these because one, you guys are doing them reluctantly, and two, you make them comedic because you're like, well, I have to relate to this in some way. So I feel like, I just get really good responses.
Okay.
And I love it.
Wait till you see what I have for today.
Oh, good.
We do try our best. All right, so
Yes.
let's get this started. So, rules of the game. There really are no rules for this. You guys can choose any person that you want for this cast, as whoever your heart desires.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
First off, before we get into all the fun stuff, go ahead and like and subscribe because we need it because we're trying to get famous so we can be on Hot Ones. Also, if
It's
you're
true.
listening, it's very true. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, go to YouTube because Demi is going to put in pictures of all the people we're talking about. And I assume pictures of the original actors because,
Yes.
yeah, you have to know who we're casting them as. And boom, go to YouTube.
All right, guys, so let's kick this off with our first character who has his name first in the title. Harry, a man with a darker view of the world who believes that sex will always ruin friendships between men and women. So when he becomes friends with Sally, it draws his theory into question. Can they be friends, or will sex get in the way? Dallas, who you got?
Wait, hold on. I have a question actually based on that description.
What's your
Yes.
question based on that description?
So, does he mean to imply that, let us say, as an adult, he has had sex with every woman he's been friends with?
Yeah, he's a big
Yeah.
old butt.
Like, the common
What?
denominator is him. Not
Yeah, I
the
don't think
fact
he
that he's
realizes that.
Oh my God, I want to slap him and he's not even real. Anyway, Dallas, who you got?
Don't worry. Sally also wanted to slap him as when she initially met him. She was like, I hate you.
Yes, this is a very silly premise. Anyway, bit of a preamble for me. So, I've been reading the Boondocks recently. And
Hey,
there's a point
Yay.
when Huey's best friend, Caesar, gets the idea of combating the amount of bad black movies by taking successful white movies and making them black. So Caesar
it's one of
comes
my
up.
favorite sequences of
I love it so much. He just changes the names.
panels.
So Caesar comes up with the story when Lamont met Boquisha,
Yes.
and that is what I'm casting. So
Okay.
my Lamont is David Diggs
Yes.
Hey.
because
It's a great choice.
I love David Diggs and I want to see him in more stuff. And having recently watched and heard Hamilton 100 times, I know that he can play, as well as he can play a likable character, he can play a character that I don't like but is supremely entertaining, like he does Thomas Jefferson. Because Harry doesn't sound like a character I would like, but if you have David playing him, then I'd still like to watch him.
Yeah.
So that's my Lamont.
Colin, who's your Harry?
So, my Harry, this is an interesting one because it was like I saw someone else fan cast this and I was like, sure, that works. Do I like this actor? No. But do I think people would like this if he got cast? Yes. Okay, we'll do it. So, my Harry is Paul Rudd because people like him
Oh, they
and I feel like he could
do.
do it.
Kind of person
And
doesn't
people
like
wanna see
Paul
him in
Rudd.
things.
Right?
It's me. We've talked about this. I
What?
don't. He annoys me.
That's
No,
so
I
he's
love
such a
Paul
sweetheart.
What
Yeah,
did Paul
no.
Rudd do to you?
Nothing. He just annoys me. Like he didn't do anything. There's nothing wrong with him. He hasn't offended me. I just don't like him.
That's so strange to me.
It'd
Yeah,
be
just
like that. But
Everybody
if you
likes
cast him in a
Paul.
rom-com, I bet people would go see it because it's Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway, that's about
Gabby.
it.
Okay, so in the same vein as Dallas, I would want to do so. What the Latinx community, specifically, a Latinx comedian that that I decided I wanted to cast as Harry have been doing is they've been doing this thing where they remake like successful white movies with mixed like Latinx and white or entirely Latinx casts, but the movie is in Spanish and in English, basically to appeal to Latin American audiences and also American audiences. In that vein, I would change the name of the movie to Cuando Horacio conoció a Sandra,
All right.
which is when Horacio met Sandra.
Nice.
And I would cast Eugenio Derbez as Harry because Eugenio Derbez is the comedian that's been doing this. He did this with Overboard, and he made a movie that's both in Spanish and in English called, I think it was called like No Instructions Required or something like that. So he's been doing that a lot, and I feel like this is just the movie for him to try to do that with.
That
So
makes
I
sense.
cast him as Harry. Also, like the film has hair, like is starring Billy Crystal, who was like in his 40s when he did this role. And Eugenio Derbez is like older as well, so I feel like it works.
Interesting.
He and Sally are supposed to be the same age in the movie, but like there was a huge age difference between
Yeah,
Billy
the actors
Crystal and
are
Meg Ryan.
14 years apart.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
supposed to be like the same age. They're supposed to both like they start the movie off in their like early 20s and they end the movie in their late 30s, I believe.
Yeah, that's
Choices were made.
Yeah, choices
ridiculous
were made.
to me.
And like I said, like it works with Eugenio Derbez, or like that sort of same vein works with this particular comedian as well.
That's fair.
Choices.
Yeah, choices were made.
Jimmy, what choices did you make?
All right, guys. So I casted mine while watching the movie for the first time. And within the first 5 minutes, I knew that I wanted a guy whose voice was distinctive in a similar way to Billy Crystal's, but not actually Billy Crystal's voice, but just, kind of distinctive in a way.
All right.
Like you hear that voice and you just know who's talking.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted a guy who could embody that same sort of like attitude that he has in that movie. So immediately the first person that came to mind was Alden Ehrenreich.
Interesting.
Really? Wow.
Yes. I am a huge fan of Alden Ehrenreich, and I think it probably helps that I either Brave New World was about to come out when I watched that movie, or I just watched Brave New World, which he is in.
Okay.
Which would be like that darker view of the world kind of really fits his like the character that he played on Brave New World, where he was playing John the Savage. But also I've been a fan of Alden since like 2013 when he was in Beautiful Creatures. And he's a really good like romantic lead, like a romantic opposite, which he doesn't do as often anymore, and I would just be super interested in that. But yeah, I just like really like him as an actor. He just seems like such a cool guy, and I think his demeanor would really work for the character of Harry. So that's why I chose him. Fun fact, I have spoken to his mother on the phone on several occasions because she was trying to give me advice on how to get into college.
Aw.
Nice. Kind of random.
Yeah.
Yeah, so random.
She met my mom at an organization that my mom was working at the time.
Okay.
Okay, that
sense.
makes more sense.
There's the bridge.
There's the bridge. So yeah,
Question.
but Alden, yes.
Is he known for having a very recognizable voice?
For me, I just feel like he has a very distinguishable voice.
Okay.
Like if
I've only
you've
seen
listened,
him, I think, in Solo.
did you see Hail Caesar?
You saw Baby Driver, wasn't that him, or was that somebody else?
That's not
No,
him.
that's-
That's Ensign
God.
Elgort.
Dang
That's
it!
the other guy.
It's the white men with the A names that are weird.
That's funny because I think Taryn and Ansel look alike, but I don't think Alden looks like either of them.
Taron Egerton?
It's
Yeah.
mostly just that they have weird names. Alden,
Oh.
Ansel, like
Look, if you white, you Alden Ehrenreich. So,
I wish.
but no. I've seen Solo, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, go listen to that man speak when he's not trying to be Harrison Ford.
I feel you.
Like it's not as distinctive as Billy Crystal's voice, but it's still like a voice that's just like, you don't sound like anybody else I know.
Makes sense.
But yeah, that's my Harry. I've been a fan of him for a long time. So next up, we have Sally, a type A woman who initially barely tolerates Harry, but he keeps popping up in her life at random times. She has a generally optimistic and romantic view on life that opposes Harry's. Opposites attract, right? Dallas, who you got?
So, my Boquisha, not Sally, because I'm doing When Lamont Met Boquisha,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
is Emmy Raver-Lampman. Yep.
Is that why you asked me if that's who David was dating the other day?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, I love her.
It's also why I wanted to do Harry first because I cast her because they're together in
Of
real life
David.
and they're both good actors. So boom.
She's fantastic. I love her so much on the Umbrella Academy.
Yes, she's dope. He's dope. Put them together. They're dope. And that's my Boquisha. Moving on.
Super cute couple. Colin, who you got?
My Sally is Rachel McAdams, which so basically what happened here was I have not seen this movie. I was not going to watch this movie. So what I did was I typed in When Harry Met Sally Fancast, figuring I would find nothing. I found one.
You were wrong.
I found one. I don't know how I did it. I honestly, who sits around and says, you know what, I want to remake When Harry Met Sally besides Gaby? Who
I love
besides
you guys.
Gaby?
I love you guys so much.
I love you so much, but this is just such a strange thing that we're doing. Anyway, Rachel McAdams is a person.
She's also a fantastic romantic lead, and she is also very funny.
Yeah,
Cool.
she's
Then I
great.
obviously she'll work. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is like Mean Girls and Doctor Strange, and those are very different movies.
I mean, yeah, that's just
Actually,
range.
she has range.
She does have range. She's great.
It just has range. We've discussed this before. We've talked about how Rachel McAdams is like comedic gold, but is never considered like a comedic actress.
Yeah, her and Rose
Yeah,
Byrne.
yeah, I
Yeah.
remember we brought it up for Rose Byrne as well. But yeah, she's great. I would
She's
definitely.
fantastic.
I mean, I probably wouldn't watch it because When Harry Met Sally doesn't sound like a movie I want to watch. But Paul Rudd and Rachel McAdams, I like where you're going so far, even though you just got this from someone else's pick on the internet.
Just copying somebody's
So
fan
I like
cast
where
plagiarism.
they are going so far.
Gabby, who you got?
Hi. Okay. I was trying to think of like who is a Latinx actress who I think has amazing comedic timing, who I feel like could keep up with Eugenio Derbez. And I kind of came up with Eva Longoria because
I like it.
she's just she's so funny. I feel like she just does really like consistently well with comedy. I feel like she could easily keep up with Eugenio. In fact, she has. She was in a movie with him. So I know that they have chemistry and I know that they could work well together.
Are you talking about the
actually,
Dora the
she's-
Explorer movie?
No, she's been in like 3 movies with him actually. I think she was like in How to Be a Latin Lover. She was in Overboard and Dora. So
She's
they
in
have-
Overboard?
Yeah, she's in Overboard as Anna Faris's character's best friend.
Huh, didn't know.
She's great. Actually, I think she executive produced or she produced the movie along with Eugenio.
Mm.
So they've been in quite a few movies together actually. So I figured that's a good. I mean, she can keep up with him comedically, and she. I know she can hold a movie up on her own, and she has like really great comedic timing. So Eva Longoria. She's also just very charming and beautiful. So
I agree with all that.
Dope. So the next person I cast in this, I think I also cast within the first 10 minutes of me watching the movie. I cast Madeline Mantock as Sally, who is probably most well known for CW's Charmed or Into the Badlands. If you guys have ever watched Into the Badlands, which I did, she's great. I just really like her as an actress. I was trying to think of an actress who could be somebody who is kind of generally upbeat and positive, but also really high maintenance and like, you know, that type A personality. And I felt like Madeline's character on Charmed kind of embodies that in a kind of different way. But I think that Madeline could really pull that off. And also, she's very pretty and she's a very talented actress. And I was trying to find somebody who was age appropriate. I was not trying to do this age difference thing.
Yeah, we don't
I
want to do that.
accidentally did the age difference.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid that. So I was like, yo, how old is Alden? He's like born in 89. How old is Madeline? Born in 90. Dope. This is
Perfect.
it right here. Also discovered that they're like only an inch apart in height, which, you know, that works out too.
Nice.
So it would be great. I just love Madeline Mantock and yeah, she's dope. So that is my choice for Sally. She's got the sweet, she's got the high maintenance. She can pull it off. She's got range. So next
Wait, hold
up
on,
our
hold on.
list.
Sorry. Gabby, I didn't realize how old Eugenio Derbez
He's
is.
59 and Eva Longoria is 45.
So you
so
did
it's
the
like the
same
same-
exact age.
I did without trying.
What the hell?
But I figured they've already been in movies together, and they're on the. It's not like Eva Longoria's like 18 and he's like 35. It's like
Yeah.
they're both over 40.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
also
45. She's old enough to do
another
whatever.
thing that I had to consider was the fact that these characters start off in college and then have to look like they're also in their 30s. So tried to balance
Yeah.
that out as well.
Yeah, see, I just figured it'd be like funny to see Eugenio try and look young.
Oh my
Whereas-
god.
Whereas like Eva, they would just throw some bangs on her and she would look 22.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, Madeline is already just playing like like I don't think she's graduated college. She might be working on like her graduates or something. I don't know, but at least her character's like still kind of in college, but
And Madeline
Yeah.
is black, so she could be anywhere from like 18 to 40, and we would never know.
you are so right, sir. You are so right.
She could play any age she wants, probably for the rest of her career.
Dude, for real though.
All right. We're going to move on to the next character, though. We got to move on.
Yeah.
So Marie, originally played by Space Mom herself, Carrie Fisher, Sally's best friend with a penchant for married men until she meets Jess. She's passionate and funny, occasionally highlighting Sally's pragmatic attitude. Dallas, who you got?
Marie is Jasmine Cephas Jones.
You just take the Hamilton cast and just find places for him?
The blind spotting cast too.
Yes, because I want this to be as close to blind spotting as it can.
Let me guess who your dude's gonna be.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I know.
We'll get to
Oh
that.
my God.
We will get to that. But yeah,
All right, okay, you
That's my
don't get
Marie.
to say shit about me taking my picks from one fan cast when you said, "Oh, this one movie, let's just do that."
that's not true because Emmy Raver-Lampman is not in Blind Spotting.
No, but she has a
rest of your
song in it.
cast is about to be.
Wait. She has a song in it.
So she's in it. Her voice is.
Oh, get
No.
wrecked.
Wait, she has a song in the movie or on the EP?
In the movie.
What song?
She's on Something in the Water.
Something in the Water in that movie?
I'm pretty sure he listens to it as he's jogging.
No, well, maybe. He does a lot of jogging scenes.
She's still involved in the movie, even on the E
Not
EP.
in the cab. It doesn't count. And I put thought into where I put these characters, unlike Colin just copying and pasting from the internet. So Colin, don't come for me.
Okay. All the same, Jasmine Cephas Jones is a fantastic actress, and she's really funny. I think she would pull off Marie because I think Marie is a very funny character.
She's great. I mean,
Yeah.
Jasmine is great. I don't know about Marie because I didn't watch the movie, but Jasmine Cephas Jones is great.
You should. I recommend it. It's really good.
So I've heard from you.
I mean, I also said it.
Most romantic comedies I would not recommend. I feel like this is an excellently written one, especially considering there's a lot of like, it's literally just Harry and Sally for most of it, and it's a lot of like them just doing long dialogue with each other. And also just the way that the movie was cut, and
They're just hanging and vibing, man. Also, I think the boys actually just took their framing method for one of their most recent episodes.
Yeah, the like interview thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought that was funny. As I was watching the boys, I was like, I get this reference.
yeah. So it's just I do actually, as in terms, and the soundtrack's pretty good too. But just in terms of like a movie, this one's a strong one.
You know
It's a
what
good
makes the
movie.
soundtrack better?
David Diggs.
Emmy Raver-Lampman, and Jasmine Cephas Jones.
Colin, who you got for your cast?
Colin, who does that person on the internet have next on their fancast?
Okay, so what's funny about this is that A, yes, that is how I chose this person, but B, it wasn't until about a minute ago that I realized why they chose this person.
Okay.
Oh, it's her daughter, Billy Lord.
It's Billy Lord. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, why not?
it does
Like,
work. I
it
mean,
works.
the age differences are a little bit weird because Rachel McAdams is in her 40s and Billy Lord is our age. So that
Listen, you have no right to talk about age differences.
No, I know, but like in terms of
We're
friends,
just attacking everybody today.
but
This is
in
a
terms of
hostile
friends,
episode. This isn't romantic or comedic.
We're just roasting each other at this point.
I'm just saying, like in terms of friends, like a fine couples, whatever, but like friends, it's a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now.
I think Friends is more appropriate.
Yeah, I would definitely like if I. Never mind. What Demi said.
Oh my god.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
Oh
Where we
man.
at?
All
Are we
right.
at Gaby?
Yeah.
We are at Gabby. It is Gabby's turn.
Okay, cool. So for Marie, I wanted like an insanely beautiful actress because she wasn't going to be in very much. And also I was just like, who who have I seen in like comedies that's insanely beautiful and like you would believe that like a married man would risk it all for this woman.
All
Because
right.
that's
Good
You
start, good
right.
start.
like I mean
I mean, she's not wrong.
she's like the first half of the movie is like she's like he won't leave his wife. Why won't he leave his wife? Like that's most of her lines.
Wait,
But
time out.
also, I
Time out.
said she has a. Yeah.
Huh?
So you're saying, I just realized that Marie is a character that has a penchant for married men,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
Mariah
just said. I
Reynolds,
said that. Yeah.
Oh my
No,
god.
oh my god.
like Jasmine Peoples Jones.
Perfect. Yay. But I'm
Yeah.
like who would I believe like that I've seen in movies for years, like for decades that like if I saw her, I'd be like, yeah, a dude would risk it all, like regardless of if he had a wife. And who can also be funny because I've seen her be funny is Rosaline Sanchez. She
Ooh, I love her.
yeah, right? And I'm like, first of all, I would believe she would be friends with Eva Longoria because hello, they're both like, well, I think they were in Devious Maids together, or
Wait,
Eva produced Devious Maids.
before you continue, Dallas, do you know who she's talking about?
Yeah, she's in Rush Hour too.
Okay, I was just making sure you were on the same page.
She was
the one
also
who
an
had
underclassman.
Chris Tucker ready to risk it all.
Exactly.
She had both of them ready to risk it all. Actually, she ends up dating Jackie Chan's character.
Oh yeah,
Like I said, I'm like, who is somebody that like, you know, they would just risk it all for? And I'm like, Rosaline Sanchez. And I know she can be funny because I've seen her be comedic. And she's so beautiful.
I agree.
And she's just a pretty great, strong comedic actress. So Rosaline Sanchez, her face hasn't changed in 35 years.
It's true.
so
She
hard.
don't. She don't age.
She don't age. She could play the same like like sultry risk it. I will risk it all character, and she's 2 years older than Eva Longoria, so works.
But let
Rosaline
me ask you this
Sanchez.
question:
Yes.
Can you insert a thematically relevant performance of "Say No to This" into your movie with her in the role?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Look, Dallas, we're making different movies.
That's fair.
We're
That's
making
fair.
Dallas,
different movies.
Watching you become what all of us were 5 years ago is fascinating.
I
It's weird,
didn't
right?
expect this from Dallas because
Right?
I didn't either.
you guys seemed like you were like, I'm gonna enjoy Hamilton, but you were all like, but also Hamilton's very problematic. And I was like, fair, as long as
It
you
just
like
also didn't
watched
seem like
it.
Dallas's bag.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It seemed a little bit too corny for you to like it. But I'm really glad that you like it.
Yeah, now I get to catch up on 5 years of fandom.
Yep.
And you guys,
Ado.
You.
you guys
Also,
get to deal with that.
do you guys know where I found Hamilton? I found Hamilton on Tumblr because people started posting a bunch of gifs of it, and I was like, "What is this?"
I found it through Colin and Emily because both of them like didn't even know each other yet, but they both wouldn't shut up about it to me on opposite ends of
Yeah,
my
because
life.
it slaps.
That's amazing.
And then
Yeah,
they met on New Year's Eve and then kept talking about it.
perfect.
I found it on Disney Plus 2 months ago.
And we made you watch it.
Yes. And now I'm talking about Hamilton in our When Lamont Met Boquisha Fancast.
Oh my gosh.
See,
All right, guys, it's my turn. Dallas is the only person who's going to know who this actress is, and he probably won't even recognize her by name. I
Ready to Google
chose.
it.
Oh, I bet you are. I chose Antoinette Robertson, who is most well known for Dear White People.
Coco?
Yes.
Yes, I did know that name because I think I have her somewhere else in another
Yeah.
Fancast.
I do not know this woman either.
I
She's
wanted
great.
somebody after I chose Alden Ehrenreich. I really wanted to go for a really like diverse cast,
Fair.
and Antoinette Robertson. I was just like, I want somebody who's just like gorgeous, like kind of like what Gabby said. Somebody who's gorgeous, like you would risk it all, but also like you believe that she is really into love and romance, and that she just wants to be happy, and she wants, you know, she's passionate, and she wants her friend to be happy. She's like, stop looking at this dude, like this dude is attractive, like he's right there and you keep meeting him and like you don't want to date him. Stop playing, like come on.
Also, you know what I like about When Harry Met Sally was that
What?
like Marie and Jess, like Jess is not like a super like you know like super sexy good looking guy, but like Marie still finds chemistry with him, which I
Yeah,
appreciate.
she is into people for who they are, although
Exactly.
she definitely needed to stop dating married men.
Yes.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, Antoinette Robertson would be really good for this because Coco just really wants to, Coco has her issues, but Coco just I mean, so does Murray. But Coco just really wants to be happy, man. And I was like, I believe that Antoinette could play this character who just wants to be happy and who cares about her friends' happiness, but who is also fashionable and just trendy. I was like, she works perfectly for this. And you know what? We don't have enough dark skinned black women representation, especially in romantic comedies.
Yes,
I
I
agree.
Once I found her, I was like, nope, I'm not changing it. It's what we deserve.
Perfect.
Also, seeing her play Coco, I just feel like she could be the type to go wreck some white man's marriage.
You know what? You right.
Right?
She could. She absolutely could.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, good pick. I like it.
She's great. So yeah, that's my choice, Antoinette Robertson. All right, next up on our list is Jess, Harry's best friend. Harry tries to set him up with Sally, but it's Marie who catches his attention. Jess is Harry's confidant and the one Harry turns to when he can't go to Sally. Dallas, who you got?
Okay, so first off, let's not make any assumptions here about my picks. Second,
Too late.
I was confused by the name Jess because I thought that was a woman when I was reading the cast list.
I'm
And then I
sorry.
read the plot summary and I was like, oh, Jess is a dude.
I don't blame you. Mostly women go by Jess.
I've never met a man named Jess. So I changed it. So in my version, this character's name is Miles. And
No, unacceptable.
I know who it is.
Miles is
We all
played
know.
We already
by,
know who it is.
Miles is played by Raphael.
You're not allowed to
Casal.
do that. You are
Dude,
literally not allowed to do that. I will fight you. I will come over there and I will fight you.
Technically he didn't break any rules.
I'm gonna
That's true.
fight him. I'm
You
gonna
know
do
what?
it.
Right.
I'm gonna square up. I will lose, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
You know what? I'm okay with this because those two have amazing chemistry. Like I would like I mean, you basically already like there's a scene where Harry and Jess are like at the batting cages and Jess is like asking questions to Harry, like explain for Harry to explain his relationship with Sally. And he was like, I don't get it. And I feel like that conversation is basically similar to the conversation in Blind Spotting where Miles was like, who did your braids? And
But less aggressive.
less aggressive, but still like I just the chemistry between those two is so great. And I think they're going to be in a TV show together soon. I can't remember what it's called, but like Ralph Casal is in it and David Diggs is one of the leads.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm okay with this just because even though we knew where you were going after a minute, like I'm okay with it because those two have just great chemistry together and I will
do.
watch them together in anything, literally anything. I'm going to watch that show. I don't
Thank
know
you.
if I'm going to have to get Showtime or something, but I'm going to watch it. Like I know I am.
Like, Colin, are you telling me that you wouldn't want to watch this movie?
I mean, okay. Here's the thing.
Oh
He
my
knows he would.
He is.
Well, see, it's the thing, right? Because like I'm one of those people. I don't really give a shit who's in a movie. I don't care. Like you can tell me who's in a movie. I don't give a shit. You tell me what the plot is. If I don't care, I don't care. So would I
Right.
actually want to see this movie? No, probably not. Especially when you start off with he thinks that men and women can't be friends. I'm literally already out the door.
Yeah, that's not a great premise.
He does change his mind though when he becomes friends with Sally.
Right, but how much time do I have to sit listening to that?
Only like the opening.
He doesn't say it a lot.
They really only have that argument in the opening scene, and then after that, I mean, his mind changes because he and Sally become such good friends, and he doesn't have a desire to sleep with her. I feel like it answers the question, which is yes, men and women can be friends. Sure, sometimes it gets romantic, but ultimately, men and women can be friends.
I don't
Yes,
know.
that's
The whole
the point
thing
of the
is
movie.
just way too heterosexual for me. Anyway, what are we doing?
So, yes, I picked Rafa
Rafa.
Casal because they're best friends. And I was trying to find out which characters were who, and I was like, oh, that's his best friend. So then I picked Marie as Jasmine Cephas Jones following that. And fun fact, I didn't know there was a conversation where he's talking about how he doesn't get his relationship with Boquisha. But I almost cast Janina Gavankar as Boquisha because I got to go all in. But then I thought, David and Emmy are together in real life, probably better chemistry. But now that you told me this, there will definitely be a scene where Miles is talking to Lamont about how Boquisha is disloyal, she uppity.
Probably,
That's
actually.
I mean, she is a little bit uppity because she's type A.
Yeah. You know what? Harry has an ex-wife and you never see her, but in Dallas's version, he can have an
There you go.
ex-wife and she can be played by Janina Gavankar.
There you go.
Definitely.
There you go. And then the scene in the baseball, the whatever, that could be about the ex-wife.
Boom, perfect.
They'll have
Smooth.
they'll have flashbacks to Janina.
I dig it.
Or
I
just
dig
have her picture in the background of a photo or something.
You know,
Yeah, and we'll call that character Valerie, just like, off the
Stop
top.
it.
Val.
Thinking the names.
It's Val.
You can go by Val too. Yeah, I like that. That sounds nice.
All right, Colin, it's your turn, bud.
Okay, so I wanted to. I don't know if she remembers because it was like 10 minutes ago. But what was the description that you gave of Jess, Gabby?
What, that he's not?
That he's average looking?
Yeah, he's
Perfect,
not
cool.
super
That's all I
attractive.
needed. So this works perfectly. My choice is Adam Driver because he is as average as they
Okay,
come.
I know
Oh my
several
God.
people that would disagree with you.
No, I know, and I've seen people on Tumblr who are like, "Oh my God, he's so hot," and I'm like, "Are we looking at the same man?"
Colin, why did you choose Adam Driver other than you thinking that he looks average?
uh,
Or you not understand
mainly because
people's
he
attraction
was
to him?
in a movie that was all about marriage and shit, and I figured if he can do that, he can probably do this.
He's so sad in Marriage Story
Yeah, that movie
and
legit-
angry.
Yeah, depressed.
Well, sounds like he's good at sad and angry because that's what he did in Star Wars. So maybe he can't do this. I don't know, but anyway, I cast him.
he's a strong actor. He's really good.
He is a really good actor, though. He's
Also,
fantastic.
Somebody at Amazon really, really loves Adam Driver. Their social media
Yeah.
has a lot of Adam Driver in it. Like after Dune came out, they just took like stills of Kylo Ren in the desert and were like,
Oh, yeah, I
"Here's
sent
when
that
the
one.
Dune trailer came out."
So, would you say that he's driving a lot of their content?
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, I would
Yeah.
actually. Yes, that is correct.
Ha. Gabby, who did you
That
choose?
one haul was
See,
cutting.
okay, so I wanted to choose an actor. No offense to this actor because I do love him.
That's a good start.
That if you if you put him with Rosalind Sanchez, you'd be like, how did he get her? You know what I mean? But also somebody with a recognizable name that's also Latino. I do apologize for only really choosing white looking Latinos. I just realized now. Sorry, guys.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just realize in the aftermath.
Yeah, I was like, where are the brown and indigenous looking people, Gabby? Get it together.
I feel like your actors don't look like white people.
They don't, but like in Latin America, they would be treated because we do have a colorism problem.
Okay, so it's like choosing light-skinned black people as opposed to dark-skinned black people.
Exactly. So,
Gotcha.
which is something, if I'm going to be casting Latinos, I need to pull from a much larger pool because we do have Afro Latinos. There are more indigenous Latinos. There's Asian Latinos. There's everything because Latin America is what's happened when you mix everything together because that's what happened in Latin America. So I just have to be more intentional, I feel like, about my choices. So this is
I
me
feel that.
apologizing for this particular fan cast, especially since I could have made it way more diverse. It's only 4 people.
You'll get them next time.
Yeah, so I'm going to be much more intentional when I do Latinx stuff because we do have a variety of people in Latin America, and everyone should know that.
If it helps, my cast is entirely whites.
I know. I just want to be
Shocking.
more intentional because I know that's a big debate in our community currently, or even with like the whistleblowing that just came out with the like detention centers. People are like, guys, like, don't forget, it's not mostly like what you think of Latino. There's also like Haitians that are being mistreated there. 30% of the people coming through there are from Haiti, like, which is also considered part of Latin America, guys. Hello. I just want to be more intentional, is what I'm saying. But I chose for my Jess, John Leguizamo. Because I feel like him, if he was with I feel like he's an attractive man. But when you put him next to Rosalind Sanchez, you're
It's
like,
not the same.
how? Yes, exactly. It's not the same. You're like, how did he pull her? But I also feel like John Leguizamo has a big personality. He's a really strong actor. I've seen him in a wide variety of like films. And I just feel like he could keep up with Eugenio Derbez as well, since most of his scenes would be with Eugenio Derbez. I would love to see that. I feel like I probably have seen it at some point. I just can't remember right now if they've been in a movie together. But I feel like John Leguizamo would be a great choice for Jess.
Okay.
I feel it. It's
Okay.
a good one.
Okay. So, my choice up next. I didn't take the looks thing into consideration, but I wanted somebody who I thought could be like really, really funny and somebody who would be. I think I wanted something that would be a little bit more contrasting against Harry because Harry kind of is like really straight in his humor. Like he's kind of a straight man.
Oh, unfortunately.
I
we
knew you
know.
were going to do that. I knew it when I said it. I was like, Colin's going to comment.
Colin over here being heterophobic on our podcast.
It's me.
Stop that.
We have heteros on this podcast, Colin. Anyway.
This is a hostile work environment. I'm calling HR.
Anyway.
Oh, goodness.
I'm sorry. I knew that Colin was going to say that. Anyway, I was saying Harry's more of a straight man with his comedy, and I feel like that's why I also chose Alden Ehrenreich, because he's not like big in his actions, I guess I would say. So I wanted somebody who was going to be a little bit more extreme is not the word I'm looking for. But anyway, I chose Joel Fry.
Oh,
I wanted somebody who would be less dry. That's what I was looking for.
yes.
And so I chose Joel Fry because I think he's absolutely hysterical in most of the things that I love him in is when he's being super funny, which is basically everything that's not Game of Thrones. I like him in Game of Thrones, obviously, don't get me wrong. He's really good with the dramatic stuff, but he's also just so funny in Yesterday and in Love, Wedding, Repeat.
Yes.
And so I was just like, he would be freaking hysterical as Jess. It would be really funny watching him and Alden like act off of each other. And also like Joel, Joel seems like he's decently tall.
Oh yeah, he's a giant man.
And Alden is not, which is already like a funny little dynamic thing
Mm-hmm.
to put in there. And I think he would look really good with Antoinette. I think that would be like a good looking couple right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I chose Joel Fry to play Jess, and it would be super hysterical and it would be great. So our last character on this list is Joe, Sally's longtime boyfriend who ends up breaking up with her and having a huge impact on her view on relationships as the film goes on. Dallas, who you got?
Oh, that's who Joe is.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, going off of Wikipedia, it's very difficult to know what Joe was all about because he's mentioned, I think, in the plot summary twice, and it's just he's dating Sally.
He's in one scene, literally
Yeah.
throughout the entirety of the film.
Yeah, he's not really around, but they put him in that one scene, so you're like, oh, okay, her boyfriend. I know who she's talking about.
Yeah, so I was like, I could literally throw anybody in there.
Yep.
So I did. My Joe is Donald Glover.
There we
Because-
go.
Oh, there you go. You finally deviated.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's been a while
Because-
since you've done this pattern, by the way.
Yeah,
You're-
I had this thing where I want to put in Donald Glover and or Will Smith into as many fan casts as possible. So I was like, well, there's an open spot for Donald Glover. Yeah, I don't really know anything about Joe because it sounds like there's not much to know about Joe. He's there.
From the one scene he's in, he just seems like he's a real upstanding dude.
Well, that's good. I like Donald Glover. He seems like an upstanding dude.
Yeah, he is.
Just for the sake of getting on Colin's nerves. My backup for Joe is Utkarsh Ambudkar.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
I love you for that.
Just for consistency's sake. One thing about Utkarsh playing Joe is that I know from experience in this movie that I saw with him that I don't know if you guys have seen it, it's not important, that he can steal the show with one scene because there's a movie where he comes in and he tells a story.
Stop it.
And
It's true.
just
Blind spotting.
so great. Blind spotting, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gaby.
But he's also kind of like that in Pitch Perfect. Like I've been a fan of Utkarsh since Pitch Perfect.
Me too. And then he was on the Mindy Project, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
He's
And all he needs
so
is one
funny
scene.
in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He and the really quiet girl in that scene together, I was like, yes, I love this. I want this forever.
He's great. Colin, it's your turn.
Oh, hello. So Joe, he's a man. So
Yep.
I picked a man. It's about as much thought as I put into it. So I picked Bradley Cooper because he's done things like this and people like him, and I feel like that would go well.
Yeah,
Kind of wasted on one scene though. Like if you want Bradley Cooper, you kind of want him in more. But hey,
I like it though. It's like
Choices.
a nice cameo.
Question for you, Colin.
answer for you, Dallas.
Your last two picks, were they on that fan cast that you found or no?
No,
Did it stop at those three people?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. I think this is the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, that you picked all white people.
I don't think it's the first time. I think in the early fan cast, before I actually started thinking about that,
Ah,
I might have.
that is not your brand. That's crazy. You are deviating from your pattern, sir.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
No,
It do be like
Brad.
that.
That's really dumb.
What?
It's good. I
You
did the
heard her,
same
no
thing, but, like,
brand.
subtly.
Huh?
Nothing.
Aw.
Gabby, it's your turn.
It's your turn,
Oh,
Gabby.
Turn. The thing about Joe is he's like a stark contrast from what's his name? From
Harry?
Harry. So I'm so sorry. Yes, Joe is a stark contrast from Harry, right? Joe was supposed to be the perfect partner for Sally because he was dependable. There wasn't really a dark sense of humor. Like anytime Sally like mentioned Joe, it was just like a man that you would think would be right for her. So I wanted to choose somebody that I'd seen kind of play characters that were sort of like either I don't know how to explain. Basically, I chose somebody that had seen on a TV show that played like a very like upstanding kind of. He played a TA on a TV show or a professor, one of those two, and he was just very like upstanding and like did the right thing, la la la. And I was just like, okay, that would be. I know he can play that, and that would like people would believe that if they saw him just in one scene, if that was like their one reference for him, which it was for me. And then I realized that he was in a Magic Mike movie, and I was like, even more perfect, throw him in there. Because like it's just a nice stark contrast to Eugenio Derbez, like a beautiful tall Latino man that was also in Magic Mike, but also that has played like a professor on a different TV show for like a substantial run. And I chose Adam Rodriguez.
Yay. I like him.
I like him too, and he generally plays like put together men, except in Magic Mike where he was just like, let me take my shirt off. But I feel like it's a good foil to Harry's, or like my choice for Harry, because you would like he's just what you would expect Sally to go for, versus like somebody that she got to know over the course of years, and like that she knows ultimate super well.
He also plays a really upstanding guy in Tyler Perry's "I Can Do Bad All by Myself," the
Oh, I
movie.
didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, he's Taraji P. Henson's love interest.
Okay. So yeah, so it works.
All right, so I'm the last one up. This is our last character of the day. So here's the last casting choice of the day. I chose Chris Pang, who is probably most well known for Crazy Rich Asians. I really liked him in Crazy Rich Asians. He just seemed like a really upstanding dude in that movie. In my version of this movie, I think I would have Joe in it just a little bit more so that we could see more of the impact that he made on Sally, but also because I would want Chris Pang to do more because I want to give him more scenes because he's great. He's also one of the Chris's that we should definitely pay more attention to, I believe.
I
So
second
many
that.
Chris's.
So many Chris's.
Chris's.
Yeah, but Chris Pang, that's the one that we're focusing on right now, and I just want to see him do more, and he would look really good in a suit.
I
Just
agree.
saying.
I mean, didn't he look really good in a suit in Crazy Rich Asians?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just wanted somebody who, like, even if he did only have one scene, like, you would see him and you're just like, oh man, that guy's like really charming and attractive. My lord, Chris Pang can do that.
Yeah. Why isn't Sally staying with him? Question mark.
Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Didn't he break up with her?
No, they were having a conversation and they both decided that they're breaking up.
Oh, that's right.
I have a director and a writer.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you do.
I do.
Did you choose Carlos Estrada?
No, I don't see what would give you that idea. It's not like I've been taking all my picks from Blind Spotting or something. So, my director is Rick Famuyiwa.
Hey!
Yes, because he directed and wrote Brown Sugar, which is one of the very few romantic comedies that I actually do love. So I thought he can make me like a romantic comedy if anyone can. Also, he directed and wrote Dope, which is one of my favorite movies.
I was about to say that.
Yes, he did make Dope. He made Brown Sugar.
He's also directed a couple of episodes of The Mandalorian.
That's true.
Oh, yes, that's where I know his name from.
And as much as I wanted him to be my writer as well, I figured it's only fitting if I have David Diggs and Rafael Casal write this movie.
Yes.
So those are my writers.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Rick had directed Brown Sugar.
Yeah.
And yet I've been watching that movie just about my whole life.
Yeah, I recently watched it. I was like, oh my God, Rick made this movie. No wonder I love it.
Yeah, you and Kayla told me about it, and I was like, I need to see this movie.
It's so good.
I didn't realize that Rick was that old.
You've been in the game for a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
He made The Wood too.
Yeah, for me, it's like he made Dope.
He been
Thought
out
this
here.
guy was like new to the game. No,
No.
apparently not.
No.
No.
He made the movies that our parents watched as well.
Oh my God, he made Confirmation.
And that.
He's made a lot of movies that our parents made us watch as children.
Oh my God, he did Our Family Wedding. I love that movie.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh, I
Sorry.
remember that movie.
Oh, that movie is my life. A little bit. That one and my Big Fat Greek Wedding.
You guys are
Oh,
learning
wait.
about some gems, guys.
Is Our Family Wedding the one with the black guy and the Latino woman?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
With Lance Gross and America Ferrera.
Yep.
Right.
And her dad is America Ferrera's dad is Carlos Mencia. And then
Oh, yeah. I remember that was
who's
weird to me.
His dad is Forrest Whitaker. I
Yeah,
think.
there you go. That's who it is. I was like, who's the dad?
Of course, Gabby likes that movie.
Well, one, it's a
Okay.
romantic comedy, and two, I relate super hard.
Yep, I bet you do.
I'll bet you do. Guys, that's all we've got for you guys today. Thank you for listening to our fan cast for When Harry Met Sally. Let us know who you guys would choose, if you guys would choose anyone at all. Check out our social media accounts for our fan cast polls so that you guys can take part and let us know.
Yes. Also, thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon and I, for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you to me for editing, putting us on YouTube, and being the other person to have Black people in your cast, as well as giving us Asian representation that we would have otherwise missed.
I was definitely trying my best.
Yes, I
Proud
appreciate
of
that.
you.
You did your thing. Colin, thank you for bringing some shine to the one other When Harry Met Sally fan cast on the internet, because I didn't know one existed before this. And thank you, whoever did that, internet person, for, doing Colin's job for him. Thank you, Gabby, for bringing in representation for Latinx actors and 14-year age gaps. We can count on you for that. Yes. Audience, if you guys want to tell us who you would cast or just talk to us, you can find us on the medias. On Twitter, we're at y'all_different. Instagram and Tumblr, we're at Creative Differences Podcast. On Facebook, you can just find us. Yeah. Did you like our picks? Did any of us have the same idea as you? Do you think this movie would be better if it was just blind spotting? If you want to talk to me about that last one, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at A King Named Simba.
You can find me, Gabby, on the Instagrams at Stegosaurus.
You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled Dreemi. Thanks again for joining us.
It's been different.
Bye.